Hello, in this little video I would like to explain how to embed new tasks into the application HeatQuiz. So I'm logged in here under the port 3000 because this is the port where it allows me to modify content, and I'm also logged in with my own name. You can do that also if you have permission to add new tasks and courses. So let's start with a simple multiple choice question. So for that, I go to questions and click on add multiple choice question. Now I have different menus where I have to enter information. So first of all, let's look at the metadata. I would like to create a task that has something to do with fins. So I look for conduction of the topic, and the subtopic I use fins. So the next part is then to choose whether the task is difficult or not. So let's go for an easy task. I think this is more up to you what you think, and I would do it as a public one so everybody can later on use it. I can give it some attributes like, for instance, fin efficiency. That's my task, and then I call this one here fin test. That is the first part. The second one is now to enter an image, to include and embed an image into the program. So I have already here this image from a classical fin cooler. That's the one task. Now there's a question text that I need to define. I start just with a question: what is the definition of the fin efficiency? And I would like to use a LaTeX symbol, so it's eta, and I can do that with the same type of writing LaTeX notes in a typical LaTeX document, to just embedding the equation in $2 signs. If I would like to place an equation beneath that, it is better now to make two a new line. So there's one line in between, and now I do the same and I say eta is equal to question mark, and in this way I can pose also an equation there. It is possible to add some additional information that the students can read. I don't suggest to use that right now at the moment. If you have anything which is important, it can also be nearly in the question text. Then the next step is to add new questions. So let's do two answers, one correct, one false. And this part here is an information of how many of those answers you would like to have next to each other displayed later on in playing. So if you have one, they are all listed in one beneath each other in one row, but you can have also two rows. And so this is sometimes easier if you have, for instance, small answers. Then it's smarter to have them next to each other. It can also be 3 or 4. So that's up to you. It's more a design question. Now I added already two questions here. Let's say the first one is correct. So the fin efficiency is the ratio of, okay, I don't want to go too much into detail. So this is the correct answer. The false answer is then also the fin efficiency is equal to. Now I have added two solutions. One is correct, one is false. The other part is that I can also add images. So if we like, we can also make a question that contains solution images. Now next, supplementary files. If you have already a PDF file that gives more information on the solution, you can put this here. You can also give a video here. So if you have a very complex question, you can create a video that explains the solution and upload the video, and students can, after they have solved the question right or wrong, they can watch this video. Now, and finally, you can now add this question. Let's see what we have written down here. So it was fin test. I think we will later look at this equation, this question, how it looks like. The interesting thing now is that you can make a similar question just by adding like a different unique question name, and then you do the modifications that you like, for instance, change the image or change just the text or the answers, and then click on final and add again. And so you have added now 2 questions that are pretty much the same. So that's a procedure of adding multiple choice questions. Pretty simple and efficient. Now, the next step I would like to do is to add a clickable question. These are the typical questions that we use for temperature profiles. So let's make a heat transfer question for temperature profiles. So conduction, let's say a multi-layer wall. Or also, let's stay with fins. So I have a nice fin question. It's an easy one. And then we call this fin test 3. And now it's the same procedure again. It looks very similar to the one we had before. So we have now to find a question image. I would like to use this image here. And now I can add the question and the solution. So in those clickable questions here, we have to add clickable parts. Let's do that here. We want to ask, how is the temperature profile in this range? And we can make this nice, so to give it the right dimensions. So, and equalize the width and the height. So let's say we have 80 points in width and 80 points in height. Now we have to click here to identify a solution. We have here 2 different parts. We can have either an image answer or a chart answer. I will go into that later with the boundary or an intersection where we use chart answer. Let's try an image answer. We use temperature profile, and the temperature is decreasing, and because there is heat transfer to the sides, it is concave shaped. So click on that. So we see here heat is entering the body. There is a heat transfer coefficient to the outside, and as such, it needs to be a decreasing profile, and it's steady because it's steady state, and the gradient has to decrease. So this is a step we could also use because we know the next part is that is go to 0. So let's specify it a bit better, and you choose this answer here. And now we would like the students to click on this part. So there are 2 possibilities. Either this image already has those clickable parts, or like visualized parts where the student should click on, but we can also choose a background image that is displayed before entering the solution image. And this is also a very nice feature that we have implemented currently. So you have now, if we can nicely move it to a position where we like it here, students can now add at this location the answer. Now we have 2 other parts. We have here a part and here a part. So we copy this one here and move now the second part here to the location where we'd like to have it. Let's say here. And now we have to change the solution. So we click again on click to select the solution. And this here is an equal temperature because this part here is adiabatic, so no heat is being released. It can only be of adiabatic type. Now we specify in this way these 2 parts. We also want to specify the gradient here at this location. So we again copy our solution number 2 and move it to the location here. And because it's a different type of what we later add, I would like to reduce the size of the image. So let's 60 by 60 and move it again so that it's nicely on top of the line. And to change again the profile, we click on click to select the solution. And now I don't want to have an image answer. I want to have a chart answer that will later on allow me to specify the temperature at the transition with the slider menu. So the temperature at the transition will be in the way that there is no change in temperature on both sides. So we look for an equal gradient, 0, 0. That's exactly what we need. Choose that one, and we are fine. We have now specified all solutions. Now let's look again at the supplementary material. Here we are again able to upload the PDF or upload a video. We don't want to do it wrong. See, we have done some kind of image mistake. I don't know what is wrong here. Okay, what I did now is that I saved the image in a JPEG file. Let's try that. So we open now the JPEG image, open and check, and we see image is valid at this image processing, and that's good.